Sharon.
I just stopped. Thank or your introduction. We are.
Okay.
Dr. Mpamucho, your life. Now, person is spending 1 minute to share the link to the page before I do the intro. Damasi. Yo, what here for? Ye damasi bebre. Dr. Nancy, did you share the page?
Yeah, that's the YouTube one, but you can share the Facebook to your people.
Okay. Yo, adofo ye damasi bebre. Ese, and next Sunday, yes, yeah. Ye kasi ye damasi sa baby amunya time na mubabe tie yen. Education there say it doesn't have an end. Na ye educate ye ho na ebie ya adwen mu wo niema bebre ho. Na ama ye nso so share na mo so mo share na adofo mu nyina nso so ate ebi. Na program is ane mekae no for educational purposes only. Yemfa ensa yare yemfa nsesa bibia na emom no ye de kyerɛkyerɛ ye ho. Enti se question bi ba na wonte ase a, bo modi aso bebisa be a doctor. Yeah, so anasa wo primary doctor anasa wo healthcare professional bia unu madura menja aduro ne nom uye bibia menja ne o doctor ka say ye no je na emom no se ope clarification bia obetime bisa ya na obetime bisa o doctor edamase bebre na menche ho no medin de obia me holding bachelors in nursing many hosts na me wo me doctors medical doctors so any educationist memo mu nyina introduce omo ho na yato aso ti doctors we de metoma mo Dr. Margaret.
Yo, yɛda etiefoɔ nyinaa ase sɛde bia mo sɛ madagyeɛ na mo ne yɛn bom esua apɔmuden mu nsɛm. Me din de Dr. Adolfo, me a medical doctor, family medicine specialist. Currently me ne Arnett Health ɛna yɛ adwuma. Yɛda obi ase.
Okay. Dr. Nancy.
Yeah, thank you, everyone, for watching us. Yeah, do be asked to tell my Jemre, na and then so you na your share mu na your babisia idea. Your friend Dr. Nancy and Purdue, licensed naturopathic medical doctor. I'm a practicing with Nancy. That's it.
That's him. And then Dr. Sarah Fi so betimi akasa wo breko a oni eyi onfa nani mo nkyere. Okay, I'm so
Try
busy.
to rejoin. May introduce me who in yeah.
Okay.
I don't follow me at Damasi Bibri Semonyamre na mo joining in na ya to adwene yen pomuden. Me din de Rita Amoa me ye ocheche ni wo UMass Chan medical school at Worcester. And then me invited Dr. Siren so now why introducing him.
Yo, team for that one say, and then so be say mo jama daje na mo ba beti na me ensure mo bebre. Miss your friend Dr. Janet Grantina Asari, me a clinical pharmacist. Well, UMass Memorial Hospital.
Yeah, that's it. Enti na ne edru ha ne be ma ye guest. Nso introduce ye ne ho na ya start program no.
Okay, hello.
Hello.
Pamucho, mena me yo ho ha. Mensi a friend Francis Ajimai, me a medical doctor. Na mene Dr. Adolfo Ejuma, menso my specialty is psychiatry. And then it's many actually say see the mental health on come. I think so, at least that's good for now.
Thank you. Yo, doctor, sɛnea we introduce you ho na nea me dey start wo so. Na me bisa say, actually this month ankasa na ne last day of the month of May. Na mo say mental health. Month ye mental health. Na doctor, say ka mental health ye den anadeɛ na betumi aka afa mental health anase o field akyerɛ yɛn ɛne yɛtiefoɔ.
Yo, Pamucho me that see. And then you catch him some catchy in bro for them who say cheap. Meka bro for kakra the chin and swaboso.
Yes,
You
doctor.
can't mental health a yadia a yaria and I send ye yaria a wadwin muasem. Now in English, you can't psychiatry, doctor of psychiatry, doctor of the soul. On say body nipa say was spirit, soul, body. And ti nyame enim say a bedroom rebino ye soul no ebetumi enya techema kakra ebi ni say asem tu ye nyina. Na they said ye statistic e din komona ye behu say many mental health ya can ye sometime asem bi ato ye na bi a yan fa kwan bi so na yan nya obi obeboa ya ma ye tumi afamu ye na akobie no ma bi so akwete se obi bibi to no na fe ayenti na gobre no dwene mental health na omo dwene se bi a obi a yare aye no efa adwene mu sem or basically people think of mental health to say oh be with depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, say but so mental health basically keeping the mind basically stable. Bible can't say because say he who achieve mastery must be temperate in all things. As some I can say and pese body no ne adwene ne beko pendulum ne so far basically go up too high or too low. Mental health try to keep us from getting there. Now so being so ɛwɔ bi adwene mu yare anaasɛ bi ontumi na biribi ato no no bi a the way ɛma ne feeling no onhu the way ɔnyɛ no bi a ne kra so abrɛ bi anigye ayera na nneɛma bi a ne nyinaa na yɛn na yɛtumi yɛsua ho nneɛma bebree a yɛtumi no tena ase ne ho kwan yɛbɛfa so abɔ so ɛdi I think sɛ maka bebree dodo. Hey, Pacho, why you mute?
Doctor, sorry, my mute. Me da say so waka. And then one mommy cry me hu no kware. I say adweno is the soul. It's your kind it does make sense. If you say adwen ni ho a nipa adwene nkyerɛ say be a movie. Adwene nkyerɛ say kokoda, adwene nkyerɛ bibia. Nti adwene ye soul ampa. E da se bebre. Enti doctor, ene to asoma yen. Me gidi say yemre ni nti me e ka se ye bisa questions a e be dawson. But modia ne kyerɛ yen ne wo kan ni nyinaa mu.
Pacho. Nti to say yes, within the Dr. Francis Ajma, my specialty again, nkrofo bebree share the name psychiatrists, medical doctors and santi. Say be a obi apomu ye ne ya, obi sugar nkoye, obi a bibi nkoye na ye ben wa ye betumi aboa wo no ma bia e no ma ni nyina. Anti enu akiri no, ye medical doctor enu akiri no ye sua de for 4 years. Aye ahwe adwene no mu nsensem no bebree ne ayɛ from panyi paa besi akɔla paa na the theory say mental health no to say yɛdi kan no it affects everyone. What do I mean? It affects you obiara. At the said you can with this page say some fact about mental health or say number 1 cause of disability yes 1 in 4 Americans suffer from diagnosable mental health. Many people suffer from mental health disorder that co-occur with other people. As some I can will honey say America high we so you need 4 age now ho emu ba ko mental health yare a yebetumi a diagnose. Asem no say the fact say where you when you say be a me hu ye me mo no doesn't mean say ne how na dey cost no and to me so. And at least my goal with this whole conversation say I'm hoping to convince people. Me pese me convince mo say at least me mete ha no na me pese me koye me cardiologist na nyame ede me ba ha. Enti asem ni nyina ne say nyame nim so obebo so no. And we designing ye mu bi say yenso yemra na meboa. Enti I'm hoping say be enkomo ayebedie. I'm hoping the conversation we have will make it easy so that you feel safe. I think keyword no. Ube humi and non just wabodam. In fact, prevent say more dam. So assuming in any you see nipa bebre yaresie, and then you see down there or say men commit suicide 4 times than women, but more women attempt suicide. You basically say ni mema for catcher say bia me feel say me kumi ho a emu ba ko beye. Na emu ma bebre taka say me feel say me kumi ho so na bia onye. Enti numbers we no try say mo mema na bia on say mema no bebre yenim how we navigate emotions ni bebre. Enti most men, all we know is anger. Enti it was idea ye ne ya na ne bofu. Idea ne ra ho na ne bofu. Idea ye ne hia na ne bofu. And so many men tend to hold their emotions in. But Patrick Connect. I'm still giving some big picture about mental health. Me my big picture. I'm who mental health yeah cause we see. So my first point now to say the kind yes nipa for we back one of them is suffering from mental health with me and kolano especially generation we na computer ni teen textbook abibai your friend the computer all this TikTok and then the social media you will realize that there's a lot of mental health issues in Kola FM. In fact, when I was working in the child unit, time I mentioned Kola, we had to avoid them getting access to phones and tablets because you perceive desensitize you more. Just you phone and tablets ni from even me I make sure I'm no cry me try say me fanko because all my is so attached. And because of self-esteem, competition, need too much access to comparing omo show omo crofo no de ne ho hwe no we mi sunu na because obi a wo TikTok obi a wo Instagram no crofo nim say crofo di ye no ma bebre into ono ni trim no so we anye te say nipa we ya on drew ho wa man wa nye ennemre nkola ni na person ye streaming enti nkola ne bebre ya dwene so sa time na nyini any ye krom no yen hyeja ne mental health yi ni ban enti aman kola ne bebre fam ama suicide ne so abro so ena se no mani nyina anko yi so abon sa afa kola ne no ma me ne ntokwa hanom ye say the yare 450 million worldwide 90 suicides per hour and then you can see say a cost ye pa. All right, next slide. Okay, into Harry, we've been to the next month. So there's a myth. Almost say people with serious mental illness are violent and unstable. People tend to think that those that have mental health are violent. And as some say, and Crawford say, Obi I sabi ya diagnose no yare fa adwene Omo no ebi omo hu onya obi proud. But nyame nim no kreni asem no say enye no kre. Empo asem no nyina ne say in fact omo yare no mechechire mu kakra obe notice say yare bebre ankrofo dwen say omo ye violent omo be hard no many of the diseases people think can be violent tend to have a lot of anxiety. Yes I yare bebre ankrofo dwen say onya obe proud no mechechire mu kakra obe so no na kuma mu no ne yam hyehye no enti no ma ya dwen se bia ye na ye ne yema hyehyɛ no pe ba bi di meti afa but enti enye no kre se omo wo men adwene yare no eya na bia omo ehu ohu ana se omo nyom be patient. Once you are diagnosed with mental health conditions, you will never recover. Eya na dankrofo bebre trimu se nya diagnose yare bi efa adwene mu depression, anxiety, bipolar, schizophrenia, de keka hu bi at the moment nya ka na wo ho akosi awiye. Asem no se nya no kre. According to say yare bebra ye nyina ye famu diabetes, asthma, wo ho no ma we no nyina akote so sugar was raw yembe hihye pa. Enti komo we nyina no we are hoping say oyembe hyew afa adwene ho no ma na wabo wa adwene ho ye. Because one thing I'm kind of say ye nyina ye genes na quiet to say ye wo genes a omo ada. Yare bi ebi wo bi mu ye busua mu bia ye moja ni mu no. The Bible say the life of a person is in the blood. Ye moja no yare to say a cancer nyanyame na akata so amaye. Right? So our blood people in our family. So what am I saying? It takes the right trigger or the wrong trigger environment, no. Assembly beto bones afi bibi koso. Enti asema making in say I'm hoping see a bit treaty your mental health on it to say yare to say diabetes no. Ni enjani and free home because I didn't see ya na also anwa ubon say enimonyama bana aniji aba patient aso. Enti ne you see ebia me nemu be share kakra in the future. Enti me plan nyina ne say mebo yare kakra many of the various diseases your mental health me describe on kakra. Sane be ya at least obi te ho na bia wo hu se bia wo kra wo fa bibi mu kakra na se wonni mu nu ebi na bia bibi fa na wa dwene kwan bia so obehu ye mu bi na ye hu kwan a ebebo ano. Because nkrofo bebre nyina meka ba bi nyina ya fa bi mu da bi na no ma oyem show ma obi na afi wadwene kwan a bebo no pa chento aso. Enti yare no most common one I think say a depression there will be any depression but depression wo hoi and towa no ada yare we no ye krumo no okote so bia ye kaso bi kaso depression. When you hear somebody have depression, many of our people tell you, oh, go eat some fufu called DDB called yeah they what is can like people and catch us at the war no yare na it's scanning here obi ana na ye see and toward that at least me say me fa bi mu me try maybe go school ya try ya na mre bi bai na ko try exam bi na ho hia pa America schools yi na man pass na sa time no na me dwen sem person ye internal medicine doctor and family medicine doctor me apomudian kasa no enti me ko ye exam me na me dia wo eho afi mesi me di America chese eho no mu no afi need because that time no ma normal society no ntina na me still na me be say me yes psychiatry na no so makomam ba na asem bi nti me dru ho a bi ameka enti that time we say that time ya bi we koso before say covid isi na madam fonso awu Ghana menene ntempa menene ko school pa around that time yeah covid yesi enti unse many times no ye nyina ye very hyper ye ba I was up and down. I'm still going to the hospital but me jedum I was depressed. All of a sudden I had no joy. Any na yira the things I used to enjoy and when I was second point I feel na yira se TV na me hwa ba se bia nipa na one ne hanki a hwe che se ade ade wani je na yira ubon so te ho a wa bre enso nhye da nyi bibia u feeling you feel worthless, you feel guilty, you feel hopeless. Che se me sro me yam me de kabro $500,000 ade na to me doctor intimi to me ye nie che se ehu intimi de cancer sometimes depression no de ba ya semato. Depression comes after something happens, when something happens to you. And you can see that you can have difficulty with concentration. Once untumi na ebi wono ma o die an wanya no chese untumi na o hwa basa sometimes untumi da sa your nkrofo ni bi ye free bi typical depression omo de nkrofo most nkrofo untumi na omo da bro so most nkrofo untumi ni no di bro so wenum nyina no me de ma me famu no ma me hu so obi famu a me kai de we na me feeling na enye me de enti me hwe obi a me de ahopepre and enti at the time we beba ye beka depression ho asem ba we ya de botofa depression yet to me through point to be so I'm ya wow na me asem na say BBC ye and afei yo ya untumi nya afa adwendwen ne kwa ba wo de ntumi mfiri so na afei o te ho na untumi ni di untumi nye we yam hyehyew you bibia na o yam ahyew na adwendwen asem ne ho but asem ne nyina ne say no ne depression afei bedroom re me to me through point to be a you feel suicidal o feel say obeko ho common pa etumi dia bro so na afei wo tete ene ebi a wo ne wo trim betumi yete se me ame ne wo abontin na kasagu asom sometimes etumi ka kire wo se kun obi na wa ye basa depression bo se ba bo sa afei nipa no wagya adware wagya ne sintwitwi na afei nkyese wonye ne ho hwe na again no a levels wo ye mu bi ye nyuma sei no ye betuma akwa but a DJ we have no joy. We no matter what we do, enti nyamyenim no krani enti no
Doctor,
de
wait a quick one. Oh,
pacho.
sir, omotive voices na ya na your real voices and na say ya dreno na adane e kasa kyerɛ what I mean is say your spirit na ka kyerɛ and na so madru another realm no omote kasa foforo and na say adwene na adane keke e kasa kyerɛ
Pay, but me no ori me nimni padodo ha enti ma men ka me honhom some but obi obetete say ye cases hallucination na meka ho asem kakra later obete ene wo wasum te say me ka say ene ye wo intrusive thought ubon se wo wutiri mu no wote wo wonne enti wo me uba me ho a me try say me separate normal me no way ote ene gidigidi wo wasum te say me ka say ana say wa wadwene no na e ma o feel say nimi no so wote ene enye wo wonne na eno ne friend hallucination auditory hallucination na make can hallucination ho asem kakra ena ye wo wutiri mu dia enhyeda nye hallucination ye efa to say depression ne ye frame be negative symptoms say you know able to do ha can ho asem kakra pacho mento aso na depression area ye wo yare wo honum again and some young boys say the things I talked about when say you feel hopeless, worthless, guilty, you've lost interest in things you like to do. Just all to hone nije na yira. O why moton o kra nsore de ana wani je ho ye ho nhwe ye TV na na o pa so hwe a untumi nye saa de na yi ekoso a na bro so na otwe mienu a when that goes on for 2 weeks ye friend of depression. Te said ye can earlier no the fact say o fa bibi mo na bia we cause no eno nkyere say o ba ye na me boa wo we ne ho no e betale wo ho a nya no kre ena even young collide sometimes you know again before that no sometimes depression and so no and so then see any full depression but on kwa de ni no you don't ever get happy but you don't meet criteria for true depression and you're friend of persistent depressive disorder and will cause you for 2 years. You will be friend of premenstrual dysphoric disorder. Pacho me use time too much and I'm why. If be premenstrual dysphoric disorder, we na koye say oba yo bi wo ho no de ne period ne beba. Ubo sa fe ni mood na sesa. Where they get mood changes around their period. It can be irritable feeling like enkrofo brain so no yemfa say or mental health yaribia eboana sometimes during the period no more nti saa noma we nyina no say only kasa yetumi hu na ehu kwan ebeboa so we found ways to help people and then we have something called disruptive mood dysregulation disorder you will be a friend of DMDD now we na yenkola we nyina depression area no person who such as area no I be break kakra but this DMDD na koye akola we no de oye na bibi ketua bi na ne buafu chese unhu de odi aye no ba ne buafu afinimu chese bebre afinimu no na watwi bia be 3 times de bibi bo se ne buafu no hadwen no kon gidigidi we mu nyina ye no ma ye tumi hu entem ne ya fa no ma so kwan bi so aso ano aboa pachoto aso aha na nkrofo no say enke ka keto bi nkenda me topic me bipolar but I know say time beba na edi ho komo. Na bipolar I know say I can depression and some kakra say me change asem na kakra bipolar. Bipolar no nye obi ase ote ho ne when any agye no otsena n'ani nye eno nye sign of bipolar tie enye no kre obi wo ho na sa na otie a yeni suban keke na emom bipolar no ye wo say it will be a friend manic episode. We have something that we call it manic episode. Na dia me pese ehunu say bipolar nimi no ye bipolar 1 and 2. Bipolar 1 no common thing a ye pay a manic episode normal no. Ye beka ho asem kakra ni nyina akoye go gigi. Every one of them is like hyper gigi, increased energy. And ye wo bipolar 2 and no akoye normal 2 for 2. Bipolar 2 means they have that panel kakra no more depression, so no man bipolar 2. Now impo bipolar 2 no sometimes it is ADHD pa and tisebia obi yeah how for if you hear you take care of people and sometimes you're managing that ADHD and it's not working, you must really rule out bipolar 2. Now bipolar 1 no and normal the things we look for is called the manic symptoms. Sometimes bipolar 1 a better to say the nipa no all of a sudden ubon say or kasa bebre or kind so ubon say friend or rapid speak na ni kasa contentem me kora me ko school na me ko fa na teacher na ba me kora me skin me skin me be ubon say ko ubon so o ye den ya untumi ndane na asem no enti de ye hu se ne kasa na ko no atre say e free be flight of ideas na adwene ne normal na ko shum ubisana obeka tro say ma adwene ye te se de me wo Kumasi kejetia nipa bi e wo ho de te se asem we ewura me krima ye bebre sa de we no flight of ideas no etaye common ewo omunyinem just said the level how omuni different na bipolar mu no sometimes nipa ni bi wo ho ani tiri mu no normal na e cost ye ne de ye friend euphoria say ye ne de che ne birthday sometimes it to me bro so or sorry na anajo to America obetuma anajo ni nyina obetuma siesie fi ho anajo ni nyina obetuma tu car or nenam ye sometimes sa the day no ye fa so ni obi a sa kwa we ye ne den or a promiscuous or the dabasa o ye ne de oka dey etumi ye sa de part no etumi ye sa again ye ni nyina na te sa but your one side being so no so no do de beba me ho ne say I'm very angry and rage just me bufu ye me bia ye mahi na me so ye mahi say ye mahi e ha me entubon se bibia bon se fiefo no obi e ko and don't see a friend of the irritable part. Social media slide is so a friend be excited or irritable. And sometimes say, oh, Sani pay or energy pa to me na. Or no, that 1 hour cry or ding won't to me na. Both I feel to me na far no nam ha, and no, you will giddy no, obi one ma way so no. O to me essence spendisca basa, once idea only no the normal check. Sometimes to me, Jimmy who dis or to say nyame or to say president, we call it grandiosity. And sometimes Americans say, no, me American, no, say nipa we so nyina. Won't say be obeba me hokrana and bear 5 days, no on to me night, 3 days, no on night, a be 1 hour or when edge your day cosa. As some person American say, most of the time, ye no ma bear me and son, kakrebi no me and son, na de brosubi. Na ya hu kwan ya befa so obi wonu ma ni 3 na no ma ekoso bebre ni nti no beba ma ho se ye mo no obi wo ho a ne na no but asema mpesa me kan say bipolar for no enye enka ye criteria ho ba ya na anxiety e wo soro me kan anxiety ho asem kakra but anxiety akoyete se unsi ye nyina ye nyini no o ba o ma me odi boni kakra bi o yem hyehyew o dwin se wiase besi na bi me na wono ahoma chitu wada no ni so ni sradi enti obeba so sabo eti unye di bori na yem hyehyew anxiety no imagine say no na ye di anyini na ade na o dwin se besi na nya sa na be ye ungu so akoma ne body no react enti many people aya no more yare obon say ne anxiety, ne worry, ne yam hyehyɛ no, sɛ me ne wo deɛ te sɛ bi a 5 ne 10 a ne deɛ ne te sɛ bɛyɛ 1,000. Enti bi a wahu ne sɛ KKK ba na koma mu hɔ no, yam hyehyɛ bebree. There's a lot of anxiety behind it. Now, what I'll tell you here, most people who are bipolar anymore, they tend to spend more of their time in the depression side. Asembeni, say me diagnose will be with bipolar 1. I mean, here depression, no man, I do not need the depression. But what they tend to do is go, you know. Many people after 2 weeks they break it. In fact, they hear say it be treating and they say, once a body need a friend of sympathetic activation. Or whom body need sorry into a command so ye juma bro so yempesa. And on kwama command credit to me and hono to me had maybe. In fact, bipolar say ye entreat ya de ku more your makoma. Most ye mu bebre no ye busuane ya na ye dwen say no me de enti o pra so ma me yembo ano enti pa chen to aso na me nche wa ha say video you me he say betime ahwa na say enye ye bom ye he where you be
Something
or
wasn't
bipolar
right.
1.
Things started to look more beautiful, almost euphoric. Something wasn't right. Bipolar 1 disorder. I thought everyone was in on it. I just want to run. It's almost euphoric. I thought everyone was in on it. I see signs. So I'd be in the library looking for clues, looking for symbols, getting to a desk, scratching things down. When I found my way to the community church, sort of climbed the church, I took my clothes off, and all I wanted to do was calm my brain. And then the next thing I knew, I was strapped down in a gurney in an ambulance. So my mind is flying. Bipolar 1 disorder. Manias, hard times. After the mania comes a depression. I don't think you can explain it to someone who doesn't have a mental illness or who hasn't experienced it. You're as low as you can go. It's a very dark place. It's suffocating because there's no break from it, not even for like 5 minutes. I think the deeper you fall into the depression, the more hopeless you get. So it's a dangerous thing because suicide enters your mind. I had my first manic episode.
In fact, me feel the bipolar 1 and 2 and the reason and crofo commit suicide. Crofo ko mo ho pa. They said your kind and sometimes o cost through na sa go ni free ho depression eba. Na depression or many times depression mo and crofo ta ku mo ho no. Te no all kind.
I was 16. I had a second in 2001. I had a third in 2003, a fourth in 2004. It culminated in going to a rehab facility, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I made a vow to take my meds, which I never broke. I got my life back together. Met a girl, got married, had a kid, and it was great. It was 9 years of peace. When I'm healthy.
Enti asema opeso train na video we me kofa YouTube. I took it from YouTube, and basically he's sharing his personal experience with bipolar. And he's telling us that for his episode, he used to get naked and run out of his house. And I experienced this. Both said, "Oh, be a boon and home, so bet me, Johnny Honu, a run and hone on nam, ye croon, ye becca so about them, but Yamian no crane, a yari mubi, and no beyond Boano. Nafia and one bipolar yari as any panenum ne drum qua, or bet me a bonnet brow, con a juma, con a school, I had obey, and patria and twasso. No, but you not like so
in a mania or depression.
Okay, again, I mean, I'm saying in the future, you best spend the time or at the right time. No, we will spend time and talk about some of these things if you may permit here. So, I mean, move it topic, kakra. Say, Bibia Koboko. All right. So, now, say me change gears, kakra.
Okay.
Make schizophrenia wasem. Now, many times, no schizophrenia, in my words, schizophrenia is a timeline. We use timeline, what do I mean? me hono ye the time on na no ma koso ya de pa. For example, sa sem two obi na fe all of a sudden or kasa na o tete enoma no nche so schizophrenia. So enti your timeline be enoma ya me be kan se nko so boso means ya yentumi nka so schizophrenia. Me office near this boso means ya no we use the 6-month timeline. Na schizophrenia mu no ye hwehwe no ma bebre. Un say me ho no nyi no ma ni nyina na ehia be ehia no ma mienu bi. Na ye frɛ baako positive symptoms. Ho na ye frɛ bi hallucinations. What is hallucination? Hallucination is basically somebody reacting to one of the senses, you know. Who see your senses bear 5. All of a sudden, obi wo honma or tese obi ka sema and so obi ntete say na mekan, you know, and your friend auditory. Somebody hearing things that nobody is there. Somebody seeing who and woman and crofoni ho te who say eh crofo ba be kuno who omo and nan crofo yi na every mano. And your friend a visual, obi wo honum tactile hallucination or honum will feel it's a woman and nam ne body ne ho. And crofo nta ho. Or no the no sometimes you tell who we know will be alcoholics, any be drugs. But to me, yeah, other things and so. And yeah, what olfactory hallucination obi on my so or no or smelly idea sometimes migraines for crying ye free baby with migraines with all rabons the migraine be bad now smelly baby obi on ma ne de once or tasty baby into obi obeka say sa no ma me bubo so you react to me when somebody react to any one of these and on your friend a hallucination obi t baby obi smelly baby to your real hallucination. And it will be a friend of delusions. We have something we also call delusions. Delusions not quite yet false fixed belief. Say me pay all of a sudden what call me fear so on me worry. And so meaning in commoda. What is our story nibi? Once he chill be say one will be fear he went to somebody's house because especially celebrities or believe you sending them plan on no. And only a friend of beliefs, and sometimes will be honoma or te hono feel he say TV no casatre no radio bonyo ma or say oh and you wait me inquire your bomma me. Obi honoma ubon say ni say tinina and a friend of delusions. A bebre. Any a word obi on my disorganized speech and thought bon say all of a sudden ubon say casana and be. Obi on say be a behavior be obeba hospital na we are parents wa shisha ne home bear 10. We num nyina na friend a positive cause ye hu no ma no no ma ekoso a ebroso and ye won no ma bi a sa hwe your friend negative symptoms and no akoye to say depression ubon so obusa say we depressed or beka say there be and so all of a sudden all of a sudden ubon say motivation ni ho evolution ye hu no sa na che na bi a any on nkrofo hanging out ni o ni pay no kasa so say o kasa obi na no aka ba kokora wontumi nka ni jana che say dum na no ma bi so sometimes your koso you really be cognitive issue ni pay first no nim fufuo no a onim kwaye onim adesua afi all of a sudden the refi che say ne re na fikra o ye dan ya yenya ni nyina no etumi ba different na me ho no ba sa no ma ya bosi ye the timeline any no be hwe na the person me chere say no ma ya makeka nyina sometimes obi tumi conversation we bi ne drugs bi e ma ni tumi ma ne nya no ma ni bi obi wo ho no ma asem bi to no no tumi ye we tim person me chere say so bi say cause no chere say obi was schizophrenia just say me pese ye tin no ma bi ase say na be ya obi ka chewa na wo ho a or you experience a Uyemu nshiu nchese wenya because bebre no the earlier you come to us sa assembly to na ba na ye so ano a wawie yetumi so ano a ade kro no emeya asem tmachento aso time we mi wie ni nyina mo nka ono we ne de te edru be yeah come 5 minutes be ma me hu na ne metumika ana come 5 minutes be
Dr. Bacha Devi, utimi ko wenim.
pacho Inti yari no te said no, as you can see, I'm intentionally just giving you a picture, an idea of how the disease presents. Pesemo hu sene yari ne etie the way feel kakra on crofo so sene be ya ohu so bi bra oye mo nhye wo nwene say hey doctor ajima mo de okọ ya nro kwa oni aso amamo me yo sankrofo ya me best start ajima before I got into psychiatry I worked with kids na me nkola ye krom ha beka so mo ye nkola bone omo busua po omo babies ekosi be 12 years na me di kan sha ase ebi ebe 12 ekosi be young adult and only me adwuma ntim adwuma me nyina ye mental health tina me ntin ro na senti me hu ade bia na me say eh wa fe me be mo no me hu say ya adwene na nya adwenbone just say so you have to understand that I'm not against you so hu so ni ye be hia ye nkuntia enti wo ne me de ye ntoma ba no chiri na de mama me tebio then ye toma ba no then ya hwe na wo ho ato pachonti OCD obsessive compulsive disorder yare we common kakra mental health na the way tie ni before some ka OCD no ma menka OCPD ye free be obsessive compulsive personality disorder eno ne saa nipa na adwuma mu uma na de ba ko a obesa tra na afi ne ho ye boss ahi enso school de ne work ye neat uma ne ye leader ne obi a ho ye na hi na ho ye obi ahi because they are perfectionists, that's the word omo pese bibia ye perfect enti hano or spend hours but because I say hano tibun say ne work grand sometimes turning it in because they say perfect enti sa nipa no your friend obsessive compulsive personality disorder or no your friend ego syntonic sa de no enhye dan hano say o man no ma ye perfect no be any asem but ye ba OCD obsessive compulsive disorder eno ye ego dystonic na sa ego dystonic yi trese no it bothers this person common one I tell hunbon se nipa no okọ adwaya when they go to the bathroom they feel sen inside thing they feel their hands is dirty so all of a sudden they have to wash for hours nti sa nkrofo we no bibi koso a ofili say yes oh yeah dia che se na be yi sa ayem hihie no tension na be hye ho no adwene no ye different adwene ye powerful pa nti bo se say ni pay odwen se inside fi bo se wo hwe me ni fine so bo so wo ne sabe pre obi wo no ma obo so odwen so lose control to bo so pese o hihye no ma bi say ni say obo so obi wo no odwen se obi wo no obedwen se no pra obi abra enye no kre to bo so te ho na o check do no obi ba be hwesi makra obi ana bo so bi obi wo no wakukum what they lock all the doors right they obo so akata windows ni nyina different in fact say exam will say back or mota the test here one of them that they like to test us will be mami bi owo ba afi oba ye no ni trimu no images ba ofili te said your onfase kan won e ba no ba no ntia mana ba hospital no because hano unze keyword ni wo hano koso ade bi koso ni trimu a adwene pese kire se wa anya ade we ya eyi sa tension in free ho. In fact, when we talk about holding trichotillomania, obi otitrinity, obi obo anoman ye ka ho se obi hu se ni nyina akwesa adwene no eno tesi ya adwene mu no akwesa 4 boxes bi. We have this anterior cingulate gyrus, orbitofrontal cortex, the thalamus, and another place, the caudate and putamen. So I know my way in a and no maybe a boss. Now the way I adrena a processing normally say we know the amount we now we answer now we check it. In obsessive compulsive disorder, that check is broken. So I DNA we check it in a giant ni I am on adrena powerful. Enti we no nyina ne yetumi boa wo mpache nto aso enti OCD no so wo hwe pictures here did that for me a OCD ne ho no sometimes no yare bebre wo ho so wo hwe maami e ogina ho ye odi ahwehwehwe ne mima ye frɛ bibi body dysmorphic disorder na saade we no this body dysmorphic disorder no it will be somebody who perceive flaw with physical appearance omo aya omo tie plastic surgery no bebree sɛ dɛn obehu biribi wɔ ho a ɛyɛ sɛ ɔte ho twoma ne tiri mu no ɔyɛ dɛn ɔhu biribi wɔ ho ɛna ɔhwɛ deɛ picture yɛ toa so yɛ a yɛfrɛ biribi hoarding disorder. In fact ɛno yɛ one of the things ɛyɛ den paa. Obi wɔ hɔnom a efie no ɔde nneɛma ayɛ hɔ ma nkura yɛ ɛgye sɛ ɔsuro sɛ ɔbɛto ɔyi biribi atwene a na ne yam hyehye no ne nyinaa yɛ anxiety ne OCD nneɛma bi ɛna yɛwɔ biribi yɛfrɛ no excoriation disorder. Saa nkurɔfoɔ wei ɔmo peki ɔmo seke ɔmo ho. If sometimes you my friend with dermatillomania, ne din ye bebree, but no ne yam shishina no picking a skin. So sometimes they pick their skin and they come to us and they have sores and everything on them. Tubos and why ye crop bebree. And now should ye chia so ya your friend with trichotillomania. And crofu ubons and yet ne yam shishina na no more cause ubons to tuning. Bons away uns and near cheek would tuning na. To women in a wo. Sometimes yɛbu yɛn ani gu so a ɛno nkyerɛ sɛ bɛkɔ nyame atwerɛ ne yɛn mu bi sɛ yɛmmoa ma asɛm nyinaa ne sɛ ɛmfa nsie pakyɛ ntoa so pakyɛ time ne kɔ a na waka akyerɛ me o sesei yɛduru anxiety na anxiety ɛno na mema example sɛ yɛn nyinaa ha yɛsua no na yɛdi bɔne wɔ yɛn maame ho a saa yam hyehye na ne yɛdwene sɛ yɛwie kum obi no ntwen sɛ yɛwie sɛ wodwen sɛ wie saa deɛ no ne yɛfrɛ no anxiety. You are constantly worried. Wonko ara deɛ wodwen sɛ oba ɛkoro kaa wodwen sɛ biribi bɛyɛ no you think something is about to happen to your husband, your kid, your mother, your parent. Time biara wo yam hyehye no gyina so saa wobon sɛ sometimes kaka koraa na oyam hyehyew boro so te sɛ deɛ biribi ba bɛsi bo sɛ time bia oyam hyehyew na afei ba keyword ɛwɔ ha no nyinaa sɛ saa nipa yi ne yam ɔworry, excessive ongoing worry. Bo sɛ tumi ma ne yɛ nervous no ayɛ tense. Bo sɛ afei no nko atumi ma biribi ayɛ n'ahi. Bo sɛ ɔno ɔko ne yam tumi na afei sometimes tumi yɛ te sɛ anxiety attack. Bo sɛ wayɛ titiritii na ɔntumi nhome. Etumi kye nyina hɔ ma ne tumi bɛyɛ biribi a yɛfrɛ no panic attack koraa. Bonsa afei wakoma no ayɛ te sɛ deɛ yɛbɛte no. Bonsa wonim deɛ to so afei woagyina faako na woyam hyehyew te sɛ deɛ woba abɛwu ano no. Ne ɛno nyinaa yɛfrɛ no anxiety no. Na anxiety no akɔyɛ yare a ɛyɛ ana ɛne yare bebree no ɛnenam because ɛyɛ ana many times no ɛyɛ bi a depression ɛde naba and ɛbi a PTSD na ɛde naba wei na ɛde naba wei na ɛde naba. The anxiety yɛn nyinaa yɛfa mu at different stages. But na anxiety area no stress mu bebree but sɛ moate sɛ panic disorder a wobɛhu sɛ no na meka sɛ nipa no ɔnam hɔ a ɛyɛ minutes ɛyɛ very short live ɔnam hɔ a all of a sudden no waka they just stand there and then their heart feels like it's falling out of their chest. They really feel like they're about to die. We call it impending doom. Ubunse, I call it issues with the heart. Akumani bibi die for reason ubunse or sweaty. Na home ubunse short of breath. To me ubunse have a body no that reaches a bibi to me see by a short live. We know the attire as all by me huntem. Agoraphobia sa yam shishi to me koso afe na umpie. Obi one man wa kadem. Because of so say or abɔnten a biribi bɛto no ntumi nyɛ ne ho hwee. Ɛyɛ many scenarios a yɛhwɛ. Specific phobia obi wɔ hɔnom a ɔno deɛ ohu ebi a flies or drive okra wanhwɛ ɔde bɛnya accident sɛ anti bi bɛnam hɔ a wɔwɔ snake. These people height ɔno deɛ osuro adeɛ particularly paa. Wɛnum nyinaa yɛwɔ nɔɔma a ɛtumi boa wɔ a ɛma ɔbɔne. Social anxiety disorder saa nipa yi ɔno nipa mu a na ne yam hyehye no. I don't see a common one, perfect performance anxiety. I don't see a movie or honoma, ye kokasa when you penny my yam she. Oh, yeah, who she, sometimes you know, something, and you know, separation anxiety or what quite so ye will be a qualify free in a bush in a mammy home. I feel nanny yam as I know money in it to me coso. Selective mutism, a collabi or honoma, who drew baby away their own casa. We know you to me car coso, patient. Now, mama move kakra free yeah free baby post-traumatic stress disorder. Now, post-traumatic stress disorder na quiet is a sema to. Now the criteria ye ta ye de hwe ne say wo na either say sema to ana atu obi oben wo pa. Within the training year, I believe in 2023, obi oben me obi ede se kan ebu dwaro ya. Even though so na me ni ho no, saa de no eye me ya afi me ho obi a se no kra na me yam hyehye me na afi saa de ne olivo. And no be a friend or say post traumatic. And no one show ya na baba ye post traumatic stress disorder and say one fa kwan be say and see no wo ho a afi bedroom rape no odwene nipa ne ho a na te say the asem na say see and na at the time no ubon so afi obi o say no ade o de ne ba wa adwene mu na wo avoid it ubon so obi afi so body no akoma na ye gidi ubon so nya nightmares ubon so flashbacks we mu nyina anti trauma no ma bebree fa trauma mu se bia obi a wo do no na bia wo ya bi ma bebree bia akoma yare bia obi ate wakoma ya bi ne bia afi se mema so to ye pa just ye nka ho ase oh nti bia nti when trauma no dey to me fa kwan bi so bebree the point in it say and fa wo ho nhye ho nka se me nko a me ho den nti na me solve me problem nti we no nyina no to me say and nampa especially to me man crofo bo se ne na no or tap enya nightmares oda na diabone bebree and me bro for three ya ma career
Hi, Doctor, why are they? Why are they pa? Why are they pa? Now, why are they so wakasa? Actually, yes, you're spending almost 50 minutes.
okay
Wakasa 40 minutes continuous into why are they pa? Me cry me wan say won't stop here in you. But Doctor, my mama will break it to be na question be aba or say why do some people experience sudden mood changes like going from calm to irritated quickly? Me kaisa wo kasa no wo kan say obi wo ho a otimi yedin preko pe no aba ni mu gidi. I know say you said something maybe nunti na wo bisa. Pacho betimi am answer ne ba so say can stress or anxiety cause someone to misinterpret situation and think others are talking about them? Or say stress and anxiety etimi cause ma obi asem ka o di nkomo kra na adwe ne se wo ka ono ho asem.
system patch ya fa one way
Okay, Doctor, etimi twa ma answer no answer
Mami
me
answer
fufra ba
first
na.
one. First one I say into mood no call up and down wa and no man patron
Doctor Utitwi o.
hey my this all you now do me degree mama and you see say especially a ma so be catch us or no about tiabo me and only nipa 4 and the betna tiako say be ma onya aware na feel of ma ichika bia na wo be kontokwa. The point is that even all men too, just say but situations happen. Sorry, you don't know what happened, but let's say your parent, somebody with more authority did something to you. Or your penny or your mommy or papa went to me and your home share. When you be bow so now to man crofo. Nina emotion be share why I am processing ye. Most one of the topics as a multi pa na mama miska bebra baba beka ye anger ebufu
Okay,
a
Doctor.
deep topic into the
Yes.
point is we are every day we have to have a way of transforming our way of thinking. We have to understand say ebesha ebufu into the fact say emotions no hono there will be going up and down, so that does not mean there's a mental health issue. The point is, the moment something is going on that it stresses the body too much and it's going on for long, asem na kosu bebre na ma body na stress. And only many times the hono na so be who say, hey, unia in proud na be ko na ye kwanche kitu be a bo. And na second one and so no pacho mami ebi.
Doctor Pachamanka, second one, no, say can stress or anxiety cause someone to misinterpret situation and think others are talking about them?
Yes. Who said what the person is describing, not call yet, it can be like something we call paranoid feelings. Now, paranoia, no, you will move different. So this is as something we're not going to say, meaning paranoid tree. But I to say, what ho now say be a time be out so be count once sometimes wakuma mu unim pefe se nipa ini ho adwen bone. Sometimes common ones na be mani pakron de mabane say me kunu me dono obi a me yire me dono ma hwehwe ni phone mu and so still me feel it say the old cheaty nti ha me say me feel some ye ho hwenye ye
It's a mental illness.
pacho there be entwin.
Okay.
Pacho entwin.
Yes, doctor.
Almost the person me try say stages.
Okay.
Wobetumi feel it say obi enya obe poison obi nya obe you say enye hwe but say you be a friend of paranoid ideation. Paranoia say the time ya say yemfan say most people that live in the Bronx, most people that live in high crime communities, when you are around, when you are very aware of your surrounding. I grew up in the Bronx. Right, so it looks like I'm not trying to check around me, but I did check to see that that person coming from a mile away is safe. So there's a healthy balance because of where you're from. Baby, out now, you know. Say be nkrofo di boni bebre wo ho. Ye te wi nkrofo kum nkrofo a. Most of the time no na mana ohwehwe wo chikakra. And no, a healthy balance. But there is a person now, no dear, na kuma mu no nimpefe say, Crofin can and wants him to 10 be an old feely sa, no sa. Sometimes in so no depression will we. In to me the back. Won't say the depression be more ye be more feel it is so relevant. You are not worthy of anything. Unye just say idea now ye no cry no en ko si hwe bon so be more adwene so obia no. To all of a sudden, now we imagine ma enya no correct. In fact, recently, na me catch Panibia me share no 90 years. Me catch and say, imagine in fear. Me catch and say, most of the things we think people are thinking about us is not true. Mamen kabio. And some na ye dream saying for kafa ye hon enya no correct. So who rush sorry, who rush school, who rat them now, all of a sudden, oh nante kwine be so, it be a boy, be an agay, be open, or no crack, or no, anyhow. Yamana some no creative a how in a way say, oh, be a dear, enough, a many panel. The mean I'm hoping that I had some get way, say, 2 be 3 more, who require a rumor, or the any JB room, because Nipano no, ne house and chair. To near Dajia or do baby yet topic on it 3. I hope Sebe will be. But say questions need your higher budget.
Doctor, a question be about I know you're similar to your answer and about my main canny on Nipanusi yaye. Or say, why do some conversation feel misunderstood even when no harm was intended? Anyway.
An important question.
Okay.
Also, some now all canning in and say, once a debut many times, you know. If ye any CEO, my person, in fact, me and great, I'm from born in Chevy, but and a matter as a member in communication. Me what a common pa, but I no crack. And you no crack because many times, you know, your dream say communication, me no me any didn't come on. It's not true. Sometimes communication comes in different form, and many times, you know, we don't take time to understand our people. Many times we punish the people we love. You punish your for no because you nyamre and share a kwanya ye ni omo kasa. A kwanya omo no person ye no omo kasa. Ye who and common from ye a kwanya monkwa. Me dear me to say me one can say dear and today be a woni pana kasa na nichi ni mu. Cause unya wa adwen say obe kun ho amobi. Enti communication your whole topic. It be communication like many times the way I make catch and for most people and I'll be at least no you will be or yet very confrontational. And you will be or yet very the opposite gentle, I don't know, non-confrontational, right? But you
Yes,
see,
doctor.
these two people, both of them think they have the best type of conversation. The dangerous one is many times the confrontational ones because they react on the emotion right now. Now we read Psalm 4 verse 4. But catch say, when you feel angry, sleep on it. Anger, no, so I'm showing you. I could read Job 5 verse 2. I'll say it can become like resentful, and we'll say resentment destroys a fool. Okay, say it to me. Or patch say, yeah, I'm sure yeah, cast say communication, no. Many times, you're doing said, yeah, kaya na one count, let me anchor. But I see a 2 year book. You who say, me na make kind of crying, quite bad, so you never can say me there. The moment that will be home, no, say, know thyself. The moment that will be home, no, easy self will say, only panel, say. For example, when many people come to me for therapy or even psychiatry, many of them may not be a draw, after that, and I call it to say therapy. Is really how you navigate. And remember, the mechatron, I'm helping you. I had to say, I'll say, oh, me kuno, you say. I will always remind you, say, the same things will keep happening. But me and you are going to get to a point that things don't affect you. And maybe your change can do. So again, people act like misunderstood because we kind of terrible at communication, and it's not really a male or female. Yeah, man, terrible. Yeah, culture no. And he said, "Oh, sky no about when any my juice can in any no mature."
Doctor. So then Dr. Rida Kaya no. Yeah, we pay a bit na. Doctor, where question where the minim matibia or say can emotional stress cause physical symptoms like skin rashes or other body reactions?
Yes,
Yes, yeah.
yes. You see, mental health na koye adia yentiasie. But so if you hear and you have experienced depression before, yes, I have, you will realize that your body shuts down. You have no joy, no happiness. Sometimes you're not eating, you're not showering. So imagine somebody who's not showering for a week because they just don't feel like getting out of the bed. And again, if you are a human being and you say many are the afflictions of the righteous, right? They'll deliver them from all. And then by 6 afflictions or 7, I think the Lord will deliver. Pointing in and say, sometimes it's journey too much. And yes, it can be so much, say, be a when you're skin affliction. But remember, say, our body, say, you'll be a friend of hypnosis. Back in the olden days, we can use hypnosis to knock you out. Even the hypnosis, now more damn surgery.
Yeah.
So you can see how powerful the mind is. Some people almost depression, but not the body no yare basa. Until just body in fact, depression no the idea na emma depression that's serotonin no. The most of the receptors na most serotonin receptor about 95 or so is actually in our gut.
I remember
There
that.
sometimes say any mood nam no very true. And in the future, when I'm able to now explain, for example, so idea depression, serotonin, back from tryptophan. And then one step, if we be 5-hydroxytryptophan, but if we are near about serotonin, and I call it sad no money here, tryptophan, you essential amino acid, you did now before me serotonin, one, 2 step. After that, near melatonin. And you say serotonin, name my near J. Melatonin in a boy and what melatonin and nanny into wow why sometimes why you depressed unya
that cycle
serotonin na wow body nya no nti unse no see frɛ no so ne abɛyɛ melatonin te etumi sɛ wona nti no na yɛ de ma say bi frɛ bibi SSRI serotonin reuptake inhibitors point na yɛ kan nyinaa ne sɛ bibi wɔ body nim serotonin ne ba na bɛyɛ n'adwuma wie bubum na asa ma na akɔhyɛ aseɛ aduro no de ɛyɛ nyinaa ne sɛ ɛma wo body ne mubum sɛ na ɛbɛyɛ a wo kakrawa na wo yɛ ne bɛtena hɔ Who sent a drone or young against a drone could be there be a comma wow DNA Jumana I ye. After a while, no normally back in near free hall. In Tina, sometimes, a whom here say, ye Fabi Bimone bro soa, Mumma a buano. And Tessa, you can see Yariel Bebreno, one thing can lead to the other.
That's you, Medasi. Doctor, question, as some ways so kind, but big question. A bisa, a no here clarification. Also, sometimes a person feels very down and cries even when nothing specific happened. Is that a sign of depression or just normal emotional stress? And you also sometimes.
Who said, Pacho, Mamma? 1 second, maybe I'm up here, so I'm perceiving if we are, and I said, okay.
Okay, Doctor, if you will.
Okay, perfect. All right. Now, or say sometimes not one who's and yet, yes, the depression, or you can't want my bomb. Well, Obi on a man and EGI, or feeling hopeless, worthless, guilty, and self esteem, and yet, oh, be a not, or feeling suicide, and also feeling suicide. Those are no my ebia esu ne nkoa kekedi a aka say sometimes no cry na ye sometimes your body na ye it allows us to drain the
As a line freezy.
it's my god
Dr. Freezy, my name say bia ufa
but
hono na ya. I say yet onka. Yes, a Freezy kakra. Yes. Patroti enka.
hello
Hello? Yes.
but what's my
Yes.
god
Patroti onka. What's enka?
okay me name I feel them it me name the entire
Okay.
video nice
It's gonna be a timbasa reception.
okay
Dr. Nawo Kasabat, all kinds so no metimi adi we aka or say depression a run if or family one na say okay no situational events na amanaba say ne opache ne say okay this one
bebre you won't call for the man you will be beside seasonal affective disorder or no time no at the end around December winter season or no around every year around that time no on your depression you won't call for beside no weather no in fact when say something moon the end the moon and the friends they cry full moon for some weird reason nkurɔfoɔ the mental health issues by hospital pa nti no kyerɛ said whether any science be wɔ hɔ to me affecting nkurɔfoɔ mood depression to me ba sɛ bi asɛm ato obi most normal yi nyinaa no akɔyɛ family history nso yɛ strong ebi a wo nana depression yɛ no paa wo maame yɛ no paa ɛsɛ ɔhyɛ ase fa wo ho adwene na wo protect wo ho na wo deɛ mekyerɛ no.
So that means
Yes.
it can run in the family.
Yes, all mental health disorders, many of them have very high, what do we call it?
Hereditary.
Yes, and most of the time, nobody why a baby south say, well, bushiamuno, a DNA call so. Oopsie, apparently my camera is off. Is my camera off?
Yes.
My camera is off?
Yes, doctor.
Interesting. It shows that I'm on my side.
No, we don't see you.
More magical because when I started it tells me that I have my camera on.
Dr. Nancy.
Okay, let me see. Maybe okay.
Okay. And yes, Doctor, my bat ye tell can't my worried baby ba. Say ya spend it 1 hour and maybe sir the panels no ebi omo bibi omo de beka ho ani ya na mostly Dr. Nancy Ediba enema bi wo ho anka betimi di abusu ye mood ni ade enti doctors no ka mesre senka obi abetimi achipu in within 30 minutes ya ewe Dr. Ajima besa bam ba ebia bibi wo ho amosom de beka ho se ne emma se mo ba ye beka se ye ko bi ne anka bi edawase fa chomo se menka okay Anaima Dr. Ajima Ntwaso Niki ye money break ama nanu msuyu kakra.
Pacho wetimi atwa so say any day any day, you know.
Okay. Dr. Adian Pache, you will few more minutes. You try 1 hour, but yes, we still have time. We still do have time. But we still no camera in my
Sir. Mimpina membrana.
yes.
Mimpina mesama.
Okay. Pacho bet me pie no waba.
Okay.
And the doctor answer Dr. Beba no. Unse bibi to okan okasa no kan bibi to te say ubi bi fi mu den a se wan tintim pa nya nkrofo ma man kasa nkyerɛ pa na lead to depression o ma hu sɛ saa de ne wɔ ha pa especially lose loved one and now say if you to lose loved one to say marriage warrior say ya and so it mean severe impact wɔ so a ebetimi wanhwɛ yi a to bounce back no ɛyɛ den na Dr. Nancy ansane Dr. Bewura mu no nneɛma bɛn na wohwɛ anka ɛsi ɛyeyɛ a ɛboa yɛ mood kakra menim sɛ waka vitamin D ɛho asɛm pɛn sɛ mostly no nka awia etimi kɔ awia mu a nso krom ha sɛ ne titiriw yɛn a ɛwɔ ha wobɛtwa ho saa wokɔsɔre anɔpa wokɔhyɛ adwuma mu na wasan pie break ɛbɛma 30 minutes enso ti wonya time kra no de akɔ owia so nneɛma bi wɔ hɔ a ebetimi ayɛ abra ebi ɛwɔ adwuma mu a ɛbɛboa yɛn a promote yɛ mental health anaa yɛ mood.
Okay. With that bebree. No one nnuane a obetimi the last week ye ka ɛho nsɛm bebree nti no to say ye omega 3 patron mefa Dr. Mbra stage.
Okay.
Yeah, into to say
Pacha
omega 3 fruits no patron. Yes, into no to say fish, cold water fish, you can salmon, you can herrings, mackerel, all those foods no omega 3 it will might me boy with our brain health no. You can dark chocolate one seven, serotonin, dopamine, ni na ya dia it me promote your mood. I feel mental health no said the medical care you know yeah you have to make conscious efforts so best spend the time for yourself said the which bread adwuma no said the which bread e de ye niam afoforo no stand so na wo hia say obegye mre for your mental health because ni na your body na work together our mind our physical health ni na e ye adwuma bom it's ne say yeah ye ja eno ne touch na ya na mboa yen bebre well say wadwe ne ho te twoma witimi nye adwuma na wokɔ adwuma akɔyɛ no oh ntine yɛn nyinaa we have to take the time exercise and so timi boa e release the endorphins and also boa with all those things you know yeah Dr. Ababaki deɛ major ama Dr. Ebia no bi so bi ɔde bɛka ho a
Okay. Dr. Juma, now, okati yenu nana.
Pacha me make say kakra. Also me
Aye.
phone say na me phone aba so. Until
Oh,
say a question me by
clear
no me fear.
pa. Clear pa. Pachoti me ka. Hello.
Hey, until na say me a.
Doctor, me, yai to unka. Dr. Nancy, what me ka?
yes mete wonka mete obi wonka
Okay. But what, okay. Dr. Ajima, me to, okay, oko. enti sani okan no brain health eboa o make say wo kan exercise ade a make mo kan ye me depa ye exercise no nche say yakwa gym because ye ni adaje but at the same time no can so say see it nya time ma ye ho your brain health your body and na yakoma ye so ya adwen san ye so into best thing say be take time ama ye ho na ye hit gym na me den say mo kan say enya gym nko a na mom no betima ye breast walking Dr. Margaret can so betimi de enwuma siso no wadi asapa eno so ye form of exercise eboa ye Dr. Mpacho waba so na me yete won kan me say wo mom na wonte yen kan
Okay,
into
okay.
wobetoa so ama yen eye question no ne obi di
Pacho.
ba say o hwa na say sometimes no na ye so wonsu no a no ka ho asem
Enti eno ne keyword na akoye say sunin kwana. And I said for some time when be a BBC in Tina all of a sudden uti ho na usu be a sometime uti ho na be a aniji na yira be a things be a no aniji ho feel say be a to feel so ye pretty enough and now you know just I am one and I say sunin kwan.
Dr.
Say sunin
Wanka osi o hwa na ne ra ho na ju osu wi a we okay but ekoso
ne raho no, that's where the key becomes, right? Ne raho because of something. So sometimes you re and shut down ho ye re when a fabi be home. It could see be so. Ti sometimes you know the ama ye raho no ya adie bi wo ya kuma money ye trimwa ye to me fire sense so. And in fact, one of the things I want all of us to remember, no man person in I kind say, emotion na beba ni nyina no be nti na de bae. Nena obuofu ne ye obi ono ankasa ye bi ba bi o boss bi ana ukunu ana ompene bi ono ankasa ye na bi a o ne me kasa enti esa o kai hu say emotion ni nyina was triggered by something. And one of the training is always being aware of why am I sad? Oh, anopano me nua na ye na ekoso no ehame. Oh, why am I angry? Who are you so nim so bo fu nesi so. Oh, anopamene we kunye. But
But
and then
also, can you tell the difference between the normal sadness and depression?
depression, one key thing for depression, we look for two things. If it be anhedonia, and non that keyword masheda boy no so album say ote hwa na enije edi enije ayira. Oye ho den na wa obehu so. Me kai se meme de no to me no na ye my failure exam. Nti all of a sudden no aniji edi aniji ayira makoma mu me feel say doctor ye the doctor I mean to me meye na chese me hope ayira nti ni nyina no na fi eboboso na no na manya obi ni na ani ho nkomo a eno me sofo bi na ebompa eku ye bompa ye na ubon se na fi woni aba ho so
Mm-hmm.
say okay nti say na ekoso ampa but real.
Okay.
Enti key ni nyinaa bɛyɛ all of a sudden ani de adi anigyeɛ ayera ɛna waa nso wobɛhu time wɔ starteeɛ ɛnyɛ da biara deɛ yɛwɔ nkurɔfoɔ mu deɛ nakɔ so a ne wɔn afa a ɔno no waconvince ne ho sɛ anigyeɛ kora bi ma ɛwɔ ne nyinaa wɔ hɔ
Mm-hmm.
but it's a time many times no biribi si
Okay. Actually, you. That's be brave. Atie for mo kwaso mfa mo question ra na mo like ye page na mo share my na adofo no so afoforo mo atimi anya bi by this time dodo ni wa adwuma mu na dodo ni so ada but wo share ade chi a obetimi ahwe ene ye kan ye adwen ni ye toato adwen efa ya mpomuden ho ya adwen mu eniema bebre timi ma ye reko doctor e clarify niema a ye betimi aye no kase se wo konsori bi mu a you are not alone ma ye use stigma enfant na fie se oh ebia me koko hu mental health specialist ebeka se ma bodam na watena wa na didi na kwakoye kese enti me so be sha maye na dofo mu atibi na wo soso no se wo feel any mood bia wo hwa akoso a na wo hu doctor ye dem ase be brain doctor na back to way eye stigma eye ye cultural Say ye kase mental health anase ye obi hu se obi dadro so a ye fa ne say ye bibi titru bi eso pai pa enti ye bisa ne say ne adro kra no no ma onka obi won so kra adro no kokwaji a onnom because okonom na obi koko hu obeka say or mental issue na edi ninya e de na betimi akafa won afuto be na de be ma ye community ye black community.
I think say me asema me ka nyina ne say ento a ojin say agro na me da nyame ase so ma me fam for depression mu nyesa anke bi a me nso me ye nkrofo ye me hu so bi for depression mu a me se na de nkope fufu bi ni ye na eska bi e truth me de ne to me no na me wo sika no na me nya me wo fufu na me di na fufu no wo ho enso hwenye me de na e bibi ne to ho enti many times no wo ye ni panko ade asem beto asem ne to ye nya sometimes no kwan ye be fa so a free mu no ya na nye easy
It's true.
na nyame onim ni nyansa me se me akoma doctor na me na me dwen se me be ye enso ofa kwan bi so ma no ma be sisi ano ama ba bia me won so me nim so no na de me ba
Yeah, but
enti ye area na so kwan wo enoma bebre wo ho nti ye be se yi there's a guy now be ko obi ye ebi o keken se men so so as o adrachi no obi so as o e be ye obi panyin bi o abone pra ahwe ne ma oh ezi di uni no nani wa bible no akokase se uni ne ye baifu a na onye baifu a na ezo di ni ozi di uni no nani na no nso na nye wa ma mi ana nti sometime Ghana for bonse bia ye na bia na abre wa bia wanyini na bia adwen no e betima dementia crowd ke kan se men so so
and that
men so
doctor draw be cry on ene manu hallucinate e be draw
aha
side effect.
mamenka asem chro in fact a maon especially elderly ma naturally na common so benya UTI. Now, would you believe some painful be breba me wha no hu no ma or tino ma na ye simple UTI. Na simple infection I man a draw a beko. Painful be bray into the biana me dwene honam say, eh,
Ye chrome.
into painful sign na infection keke wana se. A man eke can semwa. Ya mwa na boni beye afi ye ni bete ne no na beye yare woni mu nyina. Tubon se bia we na fe ba ye di bone. Ye di
Doctor,
bone
no to
because
soon na see it me ye medication, ye educate ye hu any asefo na ye spread the news. Into education there ye pa.
me no ya adwen
Yeah.
me no ya adwen
Yeah. Yeah.
Obi ma
Yeah.
memfa bibi kakra nso ha say na yeah expert wa ha Dr. Ajimai. Sonia na Obi question will be about nipa ne say I think it was about stigma, right? And so offer say ye be hu no crampo say okwa akọ psychiatrist and
Yes.
also no be kra akọ kan say na mete hɔ a ya na medwin say bibi ye me wo metim. And last week I said I made me can be far away when Dr. Ajima we are expected there. E what that area say me boa fato fa me bo me e no cra fa me bo ma me boa nso na wa correct me say yeah so we say diabetes or sugar akosro and I say be a wo fie akomayare wo ho nso ntinti no wusuro say be a wonso benya bi ni ade ye hwe ye ho boy ye ho ban efiri ye tri kosi from but ye refree adwene ne mo into the same way would say yeah health fair now I call oh mon check me blood pressure mommy to say the same way so now feel say niama bi koso wo tri mu a enye we enti adofo no minwanum Ghana for them person make can say mental health is like any other disease. It's like say when I a year wote hɔ na na say a patient nti wo so kopɛ mo a one ferry so obekɔ akɔka doctor say boa me fi say me na say a pagya and as a one ferry say me ye mo ye me ya nti no boa me the same way so na say ye hwɛ ye adwene mu ye if it says adwene mu to kyima affect nipadua no nyinaa doctor kasa m sɛ ɔka biribi fa nti mekyerɛ ayi or they say pathophysiology and as a medical surgical care into no who can me the link is okay or say ni yam anxiety Okay, yebenya tachycardia, which is akumane ebo peri I just say inti akuma so bo peri fees wakuma bo bia de moja na pompe ba right inti na ene de na ekoso wo intini ne mo aha moja no so bebre aba anti pressure na do so wo intini ne mo inti na ye hu nse se wa hwe wadwene mu ye no wa mpem mo se wo hia nko expert bi ho te se Dr. Ajmane ne team a na so wa mo ho by a etimi di nsunsuaso bebree ba the rest of the body ɛno nso wa hwe krampo na e de owuo mpo na eba wo so nti no wo ho hia ma wo abusua wo ho hia ma wo community wo ho hia ma wo man a wo ti mo nti no hwe wadwene ho na bo ho ban pemo a wo hia. Talk to somebody you trust. Talk to an expert. Na bi krampa na nye dro ne ye hura akwa gina so. Say ye dro nso a omo be prescriber na uhie nti ne de ma wo. Na bi kra ye say woni obi kasa no ama wo kwan a befa so na wa control wadwene ana wo be make some decisions be in your life e be boa ma adwene mo nso aye fine. Nti no senia wo bo ho ban against heart attack no bo ho ban Boadwene nso ho ban na gye mmoa nso firi wɔn a wɔn nim de.
That's it.
Anaa doctor nyɛ saa na ɛsɛ sɛ yɛhwɛ no.
100%. A plus plus
Yay.
plus.
yo, yo, Dr. Smo, yemre ne ko 9:22. Yemfa 3 minutes. Emma doctor en concluding your kind na omo ne tofa. Na ne ye ka stigma any ye culture yɛn Africa for na ɔka sɛ mo make point pa UTI kra ma obi timi hallucinate anaasɛ ɔkeka nsɛm ɛnsɛ sɛ ɔka na ya diagnose Ghana me nana yɛ bɛyifo me maame yɛ sɛ ɔbɔ dam anaasɛ yi nti doctor fa wie bɔtɔ fa ma yɛn na conclude na yɛmpɔn.
Yo, mpanyinfo, adɔfo, ɛda se sɛ mo ma yɛtumi ba ne mo bɛhyia. Na wei deɛ yɛ conclude me deɛ asɛm a meka nyinaa ne sɛ mental health na tumi yɛ yɛ nyinaa. Te sɛ deɛ na meka yi, in fact, woba yɛ hɔ a yɛfrɛ biribi biopsychosocial. Deɛ hia yɛn yɛ wo biology no, in fact, nti kae hu sɛ meka sɛ yɛ medical doctor ansa na yɛhwɛ ɛtirim. Nti me training nso woba na manhwɛ wo sugar no anaasɛ bi a wo thyroid anaa wo B12 wei mu nyinaa ma wotumi enya te sɛ deɛ mental health issue sɛ maanyɛ a na kyerɛ sɛ madi bɔne ɛyɛ sɛ medi ka hwɛ weinom nyinaa and most people no te sɛ deɛ na meka early no panyimfo bebree all of a sudden no ɔte hɔ na ɔhu nneɔma ɛte nneɔma wobɛkɔ akɔhwɛ ne dwonsom na yɛ infection ketewaa bi a nka ɛma no duru a ne ho atɔ no nanso kurom no sometimes no yɛabɔ nkurɔfoɔ bebree bɛyie afei ɔka nsɛm no nsi so a instead sɛ yɛbɛka sɛ dementia no na yɛakɔhwɛ sometimes ɛbɛtumi ayɛ kyerɛ sɛ ɛbɛtumi ayɛ yareɛ bebree ɛnso right there no yɛsi ɔka n'anum asɛm na yɛabɔ no na yɛayɛ deɛ ɛbɛyɛ nti mesrɛ mo monyae sɛ yɛde nnome bebree ma yɛn ho ne mpanyimfoɔ no a ɔmo no ko ɔmo hwɛ yɛn a ne yɛbɔ ɔmo bɛyie no ɛnyɛ nokorɛ ɛyɛ ɔmo hia yɛn sɛ yɛn yɛbɛnya ɔmo ho adagyeɛ ɛfa mental health yi a asɛm a meda bia meka ne sɛ yɛwɔ mental health ɛne yɛwɔ mental illness obiara wopɛ sɛ wo stay good mental health wompɛ sɛ wobɛkɔ mental illness na wode ɛwɔ biribi kakra bi starte na wompɛ sɛ wobɛhu yɛn deɛ a sɛneɛ ɛdane akɔ deep a wonhyɛ dɛ nhu the point ni nyinaa ne sɛ yɛn nyinaa asɛm bi ato obi wɔ yɛn abusuam na ɛbɛtumi ato yɛn nti wo point ne sɛ yɛ sɛ wo protect wo ho ɛkwan bɛyɛ so ɛno na wo no ntwɛn ɛma asɛm bi mɛyɛ asɛm ɛna womfa mehyɛ wo tirim sɛ ei mental health yi wonua sika a wɔmotua ɛnyɛ sika ketewa nti wotena hɔ na asɛm pra wo na womamhu yɛ meyɛ mmoa wo deɛ a na sɛ wo no aborɔfo no nso deɛ ɔmo nam hɔ kuɛ ɔmo bada biaa nti maasɛm nyinaa ne sɛ yɛn nyinaa mental health ne yɛ ade a yɛn nyinaa yɛfa mu sometime because yɛn nyinaa asɛm to yɛn just sɛ yɛtry adwene sɛ yɛwɔ ahoɔden sometimes wobɛhu sɛ nyɛ ho no Many times they catch a winner and say body na bread. Body na ye overwhelmed, stress. Go home until when you patch, I think some casa broso. And that's it.
Doctor, yes, so that's it. Papa. Yeah, that's it. Now, your time, no. Yes, 9:26. At the 4, run your call. Pacho, obi wa question bia. Echem betimi de aba. Betimi attest the question number. Near Ben Samamo. Run a koya damasi pasa mutie yen. Every next week, koya be any Fridays. Next week, koya be any Fridays. And to bomodiansi Friday bia no. Ubeya alert say. Ube train wati no wa share. Yet me educate ye ho. Yada masi bebre. Dr. Simpachom was saying become monkana yefa motofa.
Yo, nearly kind you that telephone say Dr. Juma, Yami on show. I mean on show. And pen bebre no. I think the need the okay now they would dear to fat a year and fat on hono. Ebema a tearful and a movie bebre. I who says our mental health and yet obi biakeke it can happen to everyone regardless. With story can I remember so on one of our shows now here previously, I made mention the same thing. Way and yeah, dear was here fair home. Said that Dr. Ajimai, one fair home because you are all tongue yare na mo bi aba seeking help. Say yes, there is help. Because what can we do? Say they will go through, no. So they will be also go through the same thing. Only back will say, hey, now doctor, you cry what being a year no. I don't know me go through that. I mean, if it happened to him, no, na then I should go and seek help so that my life can turn around. Because I'm also using mine so that a tear for me who say it will be at me happen. It happened to me before, once upon a time. Mantinaho, me graduate went to the extent that I wanted to end it all. I wanted to end my life. But Jamia Sem said they all canon. That night I was going to end my life and my son's life through this mental health. And Yama Kampo dream. And Yamia Sem, Yamia Sem, so tea, and I'm son coin and could seek help. And then my life had been turned around. I'm not saying this to say. I'm just saying this, so we'll go through be more a tough amount. I drew to the stage, say, I'm tired, I want to end it. We are here to tell you, say, you are not alone. You are not alone. I have been there. Dr. Ajamine has been there. But now I'm to the extent that we all went for help. We seek help and we turn our life around and then can be thrown into yes, sure. Don't sit there. Get up, seek help. There's help available. And no, I was what I just said. That's it. So that Dr. Ajima is there to correct you, to get your life back on track. And then who's sorry now, Peja Nyame, Ewa de Pabi, something bigger, greater is awaiting you. Like me, I was nobody, but who knew? If I had not seek help, I would have been gone. Get up, get yourself together, shake it off, go seek help, and let's get together and move on. To that last week, that we love you. We know you, we value you, you have something in store. Something is awaiting you out there. Nyame, it will be in store for you. One day, you can use your story to change somebody's life. No, but just what anyone can. Nyame on show. That's it.
Amen.
Clack it.
Yes, clack it.
Oh,
Yo.
Mr. Medibeka, Dr. Jiman, Yami Shaw Bebre, Sewa Jimre. Now, I bet you, yes, yeah, Bebre, a few. And I hope say, Tiff Ponsus, ya, be so a few horns. So, Kakra, my car, count say, ye mano, yes, stremo. Omu go through a lot. It's no na African parents na yana ye heja bebre yet no bebre and momo and open up to us. It's near stress o tia woman why and odomo. Na bibi so if they are going through issues that they'll be open and it feels safe so on share or more problems amount na wetimi aboa no senior doctor di kan kind self awareness e ho hia bebre last week ka ho asem itini wo ma no steady them won so no open say bibi enko ya what are your triggers ma wo doctor en hu no and na so ye nyina doctors na so we also have our own issues we seek help it's the who here say one so obejem rest them the kan kind no e who here pa you have to make the conscious effort about yourself, about your mental health. It's a kaka when they come.
That's it. That's it. Amacho. Dr. Amu asani ye kan ye no. Ya mi show be brave ye da wasi. Dr. Amu bi ka na. Okay. Ya kasi ye da
Maka me
wasi.
pepem say na obi you person ka say Dr. Ajimai. I but me ba be come out say Dr. Ajimai. Yeah, that was
I
very
would
yeah,
have
need so.
maybe.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Pacho you. And ye me endi wa media. Da wasi bebre tie for nya mi hwa mu bebre.